Hi there, I'm Kathy Barker from Software Solutions, and I would like to introduce you to the Windows logo key. Now, the Windows logo key is actually a key on your keyboard. It actually sits in the lower left of your keyboard, in between the Control and the Alt key, and just below the Z key. The Windows logo key has actually been around for a while. It came out in 1994 when Microsoft released the first natural keyboards. And since then, it's pretty much been made part of every keyboard that you come across, every PC keyboard. And what I want to show you is the power of that key, which I believe that a lot of people don't know about. The first thing is if you just tap that Windows key by itself, as I do now, it just brings up the Windows Start menu. So that's quite handy. But it definitely goes beyond that. It does a lot more than just bringing up the Windows Start menu. So let me show you how this could add value to you and your everyday working with Windows. I'm just going to press the Windows key again and it disappears. So follow along with me if you like, but let me show you. Now what I've done with this video is created a one-page concise PDF file which is outlining the various Windows keys that I think are the bomb. And what I would like you to do is print them and put them on your wall and try to make some of these keys part of your DNA, part of your everyday way of operating in a Windows environment. They will be so useful, and that's what I'm hoping to show you. First of all, let's start with the letter A. So I'm just going to try and alphabetically initially go through this list. Now Windows A, if you hold the Windows key down and you tap the A on the right hand side, you'll notice that your settings come up. So if you want to change any of your Wi-Fi settings or your airplane mode settings or your sound or your brightness, pressing Windows A will bring those settings up. And pressing Windows A will also make them go away. Now the next letter is Windows C. If you're a Microsoft Teams user as I am and you want to start or participate in a chat or a meeting, then Windows C is a really good shortcut key combination to bring up the ability to meet with people or chat with people. And then I'll just click away to get rid of that. So Windows C for Microsoft Teams chats and meetings. Now the next letter is Windows D. Windows D is to hide and to show your desktop. So a scenario might be that you're working on a number of files that maybe are a little bit commercially sensitive. And so someone comes into your workspace. And so you need to really hide everything quickly while you have a convo with them. To do that quickly, Windows D shows your desktop. Once the convo or conversation is finished, you can bring everything back up again once they've left by pressing Windows D. A lot quicker than actually having to minimize everything and then unminimize everything. But having said minimize everything, there is the ability to press Windows M to minimize all your windows. So Windows M will minimize everything. That's a good way to do it as well. And then Windows Shift M will bring everything back again. Not necessarily in the order if it's been a while, but it will bring everything back. So Windows M and Windows Shift M. Windows D and and just Windows D again, not Shift. So Windows D to hide the desktop and show the desktop. Okay. Now another application that we use on a day-to-day basis is the File Explorer. We often use it to transfer files, rename files, make duplicates, rearrange and organize our files. So a quick way to bring up the File Explorer is just Windows E for Explorer. And here's my File Explorer. And in fact, if I press Windows E again, I'd bring up a second instance of my File Explorer. And there it is there. Now, I want to jump a little bit ahead in our Windows key. What I want to do now is put that File Explorer window on the right-hand side of my screen and the other File Explorer window on the left-hand side of my screen. So if I hit Windows right arrow, that File Explorer window will go to the right. then what Windows does, Microsoft Windows does, is basically produce all the other windows I've got open on the left-hand side. And I have to click the window that I would like to show on the left. So I'd like to show the other instance of File Explorer, so I click it on the left-hand side. So that's a really handy way of putting something on the right and then choosing what you want on the left. If I then press Alt-Tab, I'll go back to my PDF file, and Alt-Tab to go back to my Word document. So, Windows E will open up the File Explorer, that's in this PDF file, and Windows right and left arrow will move the window to the right or the left. Now let's have a look at Windows H. Windows H will launch and stop voice typing. So if typing is not your strength, you may want to start to use voice typing. I'm going to press Windows H. The voice is now listening to me and is now typing everything that I say. Full stop. Now I will say something else, comma, and until I press Windows H, it will continue to type what I say. So I just pressed Windows H to stop the voice typing. And so if typing's not your strength, maybe get to know Windows H for starting and stopping the voice typing. Really handy. Next thing I want to show you is what if I want to bring up my settings. Then that is a shortcut key combination, Windows I. Windows I, as you can see here, will bring up the display settings, the sound settings, power and battery settings, anything settings related. So use your Windows I to bring up settings. If I go Alt F4, that will close that window. If I want to cast my screen to a projector or to a TV, then I can go Windows K to connect and to cast my screen to another device. I actually don't have any other displays connected at this point in time, so it's going to tell me that it didn't find any. But if you do have a connection to another display, you can cast to it using Windows K. I'm just going to click to get rid of the cast. The next one I'm not going to press, but I do believe it's really important. If you're going to move away from your PC, perhaps to go and have lunch or what have you, you really should lock your PC. Otherwise, people have access to your emails, to your files, and everything else on your PC. So Windows L is a quick and easy way to lock your PC, or even to log out and switch between accounts. So make Windows L your habit whenever you leave your PC. Windows M, we looked at earlier, minimizes all the windows, and Windows Shift M unminimizes. So they're handy as well. The next one I want to look at is Windows N. Windows N basically brings up your notification center and your calendar on the right hand side of your taskbar. So if I go Windows N, there's my notifications and there's my calendar. If I press Windows N again, they will disappear. If you're a person who likes to change your projection or presentation display mode from extended to duplicated, or just show on this screen or just show on that screen, then you're going to like Windows P. Windows P for project will allow me to change, as is indicated at the moment with this blue bar. I'm in extended mode. So I have two screens and I'm extending my display across those two screens. But I could choose to duplicate or show just my PC screen or just my second screen. So Windows P is to project and change your display mode. But I'm just going to click away to make that go away. If you're a person who uses Run, then Windows R is a handy way to start or turn on the Run dialog box window. So Windows R. but I'm just going to go cancel. If you need to search for a file, a folder, a person, an app, or any sort of information, then Windows S takes you straight into search mode, where you can start to type where your cursor is blinking, whatever it is that you want to search for. So if you're trying to find a file that you created and don't remember where you saved it, or a folder or an application, simply hit Windows S and start to search. If I go Windows S again, it doesn't go away, so I'll just click and that'll make it go away. One of my favorites is Windows Shift S. If you want to take a screenshot, that's a really handy key combination. So I'm going to go Windows Shift S, which basically fires up the snip and sketch. Here I have a little panel where I can choose to create a rectangular snip, a free-form snip, just snip a certain window, or snip my entire screen. I'm just going to go for a rectangular snip because it's my most common type of snip. And let's say I wanted to snip part of, take a copy of part of this table, just from A to M. So I drag around it with my crosshair mouse pointer and I let go. In the bottom right corner, the snipping tool tells me that if I want to do markup, that is add highlighting or pen marks or share this image, I should click here. So I'll click and that brings up either the snipping tool or snip and sketch, whichever is your default application. But it's from here that you're able to add highlighting or add pen markups or save it or copy it and put it into an email, things like that. So the snipping tool is quickly, or the snip and sketch is quickly invoked by pressing Windows Shift S. But I'll just close this for now. Now Windows T is with reference to your taskbar, which is what you see across the bottom of your screen. If I want to go to a certain app on my taskbar, I'll go Windows T. A black border appears around the first application on my taskbar that I added, and I can right arrow to any application on my taskbar using the right or the left arrows. And if I press enter, then I'll actually start that application. So that's what Windows T does. But I will just click to make that go away. Now, one of my favorites is Windows V. Windows V allows you to look at your clipboard history. So I'm going to press Windows V, and Windows V shows me those things that I've copied or cut. And so I copied this just recently, in fact at 12:03, and I copied this one here at 11:24. I copied this logo, but further down I can also say there's a URL I copied and some text that I copied. It keeps a history of everything that I've copied or cut to the clipboard. So how does this work? It basically means that I can go through selecting information and copying it, and it will be gathered on that clipboard. And then I can go to wherever I want to paste it and paste. Let me just create a situation. I'm just going to create some text, for example. Let's say I copy this, Control C. I copy this, Control C. I'm just double clicking and selecting paragraphs, Control C. And this one, Control C. And now I click here. This could be a new document, Control N, Windows right arrow. Or it could be a new email, or it could be anywhere that I want to paste that information. When I'm ready to paste, I go Windows V, and it brings up a history of everything that I've copied. What's at the top is the last thing that I copied, and here is a history of everything. So I might decide, right, well, I need to first of all paste this. So I click it. A couple of enters, Windows V, and now I want to paste this. So I click it. A couple of enters, Windows V, and now I want to paste this. So I click it. A couple of enters, Windows V, and you just continue to choose whatever you want to paste from the clipboard. So it really does flip everything that we've been taught about copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. What it's now leading us to believe is we can copy, 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 and then paste, 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 paste. Go and gather the information you need using the snipping tool from Word, from Excel, from PowerPoint, from emails. Gather all the information you need, then go to where you want to paste it and simply press Windows V and start pasting the information in the order that you want to paste it. So that's the clipboard at the top, but also be aware you can also insert things like symbols. You can also insert things like emojis, emojis. You can also insert things like GIFs and emojis. And this is just a recent history of things we've used. So Windows V brings up the clipboard history, which is there. You can clear the clipboard entirely because you know you're going to go and gather a lot of information. But it's one of my favorite Windows keys is Windows V. So I'm just going to click to make it go away. Another one is if you're a widgets user, maybe you're not a widgets user, maybe you didn't know there were widgets. If you want to see the widgets, you just go Windows W. Windows W will bring up the widgets like what time it is, any history, any news, top stories, any events traffic-wise near me, weather, Bitcoin sort of like stock exchange information. And you can simply choose more to see, and you can simply click on anything that you want to view. And if I go Windows W again, it makes the widgets go away. So you can bring up widgets and send away widgets with Windows W. You also have what they call a quick link menu to access certain parts of Windows, and that's by simply going Windows X, and I can access things like power options, device manager, network connections, and so on. And even some of the ones we've already looked at, task manager, settings, file explorer, search and run. But I'm just going to press escape and make it go away. Now the next thing I want to show you are snap layouts. Now these are fantastic. They are when you want to have things laid out on your screen, maybe side by side or 3 across or 2 by 2. The whole idea is that you go Windows Z. If I go Windows Z, then these snap layouts appear. Now, if I actually start again, let me just click on this PDF file. So I've made a click on that. That is my active window. I then go Windows Z. Whichever option I choose now, if I click on this side, the PDF will go on the right. If I click on this side, the PDF will go on the left. If I click this side, the PDF will go on the right. Let's try this one. It's got 3 windows equidistant side by side. Let's say I want the PDF on the right hand side. So I click this one. So the PDF's gone on the right. Now it's asking me, these are all the other windows you've got open. Of all the other windows, what would you like on the left? So I might decide, actually I want that Word document on the left. So I choose that. Then it comes to the center and it says, well, out of all the other windows you've got open, what would you like in the center? So I might decide to put File Explorer in the center. And there you have it. You've got 3 windows side by side sharing the screen equally. Now if I rest my mouse on the maximize or the restore button, notice that on any of these windows, notice that the snap layouts appear. So that's where I can change my mind. And I might think, actually, I want the PDF on the left and the Word document on the right. So I'll go to the Word document and click it. I'll go to its maximize button. I want 2 side by side. I want this on the right. So I'll choose the 2 option and the right window. And that put that Word document on the right. And it says, well, what do you want on the left? So I click the PDF file. And I want that on the left. So now my layout is not 3 across as it was earlier. It's now 2 across. So I really like these snap layouts and arranging windows on your screen, especially if you've got a decent sized screen. I like the side-by-side 2 and I like the side-by-side 3. And that was all triggered by going Windows Z, one of my favorites. Okay, now let's have a look at the emoji panel. The emoji panel can be triggered or ignited from any application, and it can be triggered in 2 ways. You can go Windows full stop, or you can go Windows semicolon. Let me go Windows semicolon. Windows semicolon brings up the emoji panel. These are emojis, these are GIFs, all sorts of things I can access. Now I can type something like sad, and it'll bring up all the emojis and the GIFs that are all related to sad. But I want something happy. So I search for happy. These are all things relating happy and so on and so forth. So if I want to put happy birthday, I'll just click that GIF and it's inserted that happy birthday GIF straight into my Word document. So Windows full stop or Windows semicolon to bring up the emojis, whether you want to deal with GIFs or symbols or even the Clipboard viewer. Really handy. The next one I want to show you on this PDF file, just working our way down through this document, is the Windows comma. Now sometimes I just want a temporary sneaky preview of my desktop. So I hold the Windows key and I press comma. And while I continue to hold those 2 down, I can actually see my desktop. And when I let go, they both come up again. So if you want a sneaky preview of your desktop, just Windows comma and then let it go. Now, my favorite, which I did bring up earlier in the Explorer, is Windows left arrow and Windows right arrow. But there's also Windows up and down arrow. So let's have a look. I might just maximize this window. And if I Alt-Tab to Word, I'll maximize that as well. So as I was saying, if I want to put something on the right, I'll go Windows right arrow. And then of all the other windows I've got available, I can click what I want on the left-hand side. Those are super handy, Windows left and right arrow. Now if I was to click on this Word document and go Windows up arrow, then that shrinks that window and it's gone up. And now I get to choose which window I'd like to show in the bottom half of my screen, which I don't want to show any of them, so I click back on Word and I'll go Windows down arrow and stretch it back down again. The other thing I want to show you is the magnifier and the narrator. If I'm sitting in Word, for example, and I go Windows plus, and I'm going to use the plus on my number pad because then I don't have to worry about the Shift key. So if I go Windows plus, that brings up my magnifier. And if I continue to go Windows plus, I would be zooming in. And Windows minus, I'd be zooming out. I could use my mouse and hit the plus and the minus here, but Windows plus and minus also zoom in. Now the other thing you've got, if I scroll up to the top here, is you've also got the ability to ask it to read to you. That's the narrator side of things. And if I went into this little gear stick or settings, I could choose which voice I wanted to use, but I'm going to stick with 0. And I'm going to slow her voice down a little bit because I find it a little bit fast. And I'm just going to click again where I want her to start reading, and I'll hit this play button.
The voice is now listening to me and is now typing everything that I say.
And I can pause it by hitting the pause button. So by pressing the Windows and the actual plus on your number pad, you have actually ignited the navigator, which also includes the narrator. And I'm just going to hit X to close that down as well. Okay, and then lastly I want to show you virtual desktops. One of my favorite key combinations is Windows Tab. Windows Tab actually tells me all the windows I've got open, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I can click on something that I want to quickly switch to. Some people use Alt-Tab, and I don't want to take that away from anybody, that's just as cool. But Windows Tab is quite good. Why Windows Tab's got the extra little edge is this desktop option here. Now I can see I've got 1 desktop, but I actually would like to create 4 because I like to have lots of windows open and I like to have them side by side so they're easily workable and viewable. So I'm going to click this and make 1, 2, 3, 4. I've now got 4 desktops. Now let's start by configuring desktop 2. I click on desktop 2 and this is exactly how it looks. Now on desktop 2, I'd actually like to show my... Now let's just bring this back up. Sorry, I just thought for a moment I'd lost something. So let's just cancel. What I want to bring up is my OneNote. Love OneNote. And I'm going to go Windows right arrow, put it on the right. And I'm going to bring up also my email, Outlook. And Windows left arrow, put that on the left. So this is my second desktop. And if I go Windows tab, I can see that. I have got desktop 1 looking like that, and Windows tab, desktop 2 looking like that. Now if I go Windows tab and go to desktop 3, on desktop 3 I'd like to see my database, which is really big and needs the whole screen. So I'm going to right click and bring up my database, and that's my desktop 3. Now I'm going to go Windows tab again. That's my desktop 1, desktop 2, desktop 3. Now desktop 4 is when I'm working with the Explorer and I'm navigating and organizing my files. So I'm going to go Windows E to bring up Explorer and Windows E again to bring up a second instance of Explorer. Now this Explorer I want on the right hand side of my screen and the other Explorer I want on the left hand side of my screen. So I'm going to go Windows right arrow, put that on the right, and then just press enter and put that on the left. That is my 4th desktop. So I've got 4 desktops that I can jump between now. So how do I jump between these various desktops? Well, one way would just be the Windows tab. The Windows tab says here, desktop 1, desktop 2, desktop 3, desktop 4, and I can just click on it and just jump between the various desktops. But if you're doing this a lot, then I'm going to desktop 1, I'm just going to go Windows Control right arrow. That's my desktop 2, that's my desktop 3, that's my desktop 4. And then Control Windows left arrow, desktop 3, desktop 2, back to desktop 1. One of my favorite things is to create a variety of virtual desktops where I can arrange all my windows that I use on a day-to-day basis and just jump between them without spending all day collapsing things, expanding things, minimizing things, closing things, arranging things. So painful. Just create virtual desktops, switch between them as you need to see different things. And those are the last keys that I put at the bottom of that one-page PDF. So really do enjoy the virtual desktops. I really do enjoy the Windows left and right arrows. I really do enjoy the emoji panel. The snap layouts, Windows Z, super cool. I love the clipboard history, Windows V. Screenshotting, Windows Shift S, total must. Searching, Windows S, divine. Minimizing all the windows or showing and hiding the desktop, super handy. Definitely locking your PC if you're going to walk away from your PC with Windows L. And yeah, Windows Explorer, File Explorer, Windows E. And I use Teams a lot, so being able to go Windows C for a chat, super handy. Print out this one-page PDF, stick it on your wall, try to make some of these keys part of your DNA. Make them add value to your day by helping you do things quick and easier. I've also put a hyperlink here to a Microsoft website where all these keys are mentioned and more. So have a look at that if this interests you. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. I do hope that it's added value to your day. My name is Kathy Barker from Software Solutions. Please like my video. Please download the PDF and please subscribe as I start to launch more and more videos that hopefully will be of value to you.